the biggest story that will wind up being a nothing burger that we've been covering over the last several weeks, if not months, will be what? Dan Hanzus.
Stefon Diggs hates his teammates and Josh Allen.
Okay.
That felt like such a June type. He doesn't want to be at mandatory minicamp, and he's just kind of annoyed.
But when Sean McDermott said he was very concerned about it, that's the end of that. And the same thing that, Eric Bieniemy is such a hard ass. That may be a big nothing burger, but the reason why it was a something burger is the head coach said something.
Right.
So McDermott saying, I'm very concerned, that put it on the front burner for me and caused me to ask about a half dozen guests about it over the following 2-3 weeks. And I understand June is June and we're waiting for stuff to talk about. But I could totally understand that means nothing.
He's an emotional guy, obviously, and that's part of what makes him great.
Yes.
I think is his passion. And I think with the Bills, we did something around the NFL a couple of weeks back, the urgency meter, like what teams have the most urgency. The Jets are very high on that list, but I had the Bills at a perfect 10.0 because they've gotten so close now and they can't get over the hump, and you kind of could feel the vice tightening around them as they get beat in the snow in Western New York by the Bengals last January. And then you go into this year and it's like, okay, is this going to be the year? And I think some of the frustration, I'm just throwing it out there, is tied to that idea that they keep on, it's expected to be, this is our year, and then it's not your year. And then that starts to, I think, build in terms of frustration, bad vibes.
Well, in terms of the Bills, I can't put them anywhere on the urgency list because really? Josh Allen's going nowhere, man. Like that's to me what urgency, or the Jets are more urgent because Father Time might be ticking for Aaron Rodgers. And then, the undercurrent of the whole Zach Wilson thing is that, it'll be like the ultimate thing is Rodgers will do great, but, the Super Bowl III trophy won't be alone anymore. He'll go right off into the sunset and hand things off to Zach Wilson, who will only probably have an overcapped team that makes Mike Tannenbaum's world, look completely, in order. I don't know. Obviously in Joe Douglas we trust. To me, that's more urgent than the Bills. And plus last year, as much as you want to pin anything on Allen's inability to make smart plays in the red zone or whatever, I think they've tweaked and fixed that this year. But what they went through last year from a shooting in right at the outset of the season, they had to play in Detroit in back-to-back games, once as a home team, DeMar Hamlin. I mean, what are you going to really just put it all back together? And obviously Joe Burrow and the Bengals came in and kicked their ass in the snow. I mean, that happened. But I'm that's why I wouldn't be urgent on
all right,
that.
Let me frame it like this then, because during the break we were talking a little bit about Marino, and
yes,
he gets the Super Bowl year 2, never gets back, and Josh Allen has plenty of time, but these certain windows are finite, right? Mm-hmm. And I think this team with this coaching staff in this moment, it feels like we're ready to go, and sure, they could reload and have another 5-10 runs at this, but for this particular era of Bills football, it does feel like there should be a Super Bowl berth in there somewhere.
Yes.
If it's not the Jets, as a fan of the Jets, I'd like it to be the Bills, because that's a team and a rival that I kind of feel empathy toward, because they've been through a lot as well as an organization, as a fan base.
Yes.
Look how magnanimous I am.
We share the Tom Brady scars.
Yes, that's true.
That's for sure. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.